Well, hi, good morning, and thanks so much for joining me here in my shop. Hey, today is August 18th, 2020, and the last time this radio appeared on my videos was almost exactly 2 years ago, August 20th of 2018. For 2 years since then, this radio has been sitting in my hallway and looking pretty nice. This is an amazing radio. I bought this radio for all of $20 at a yard sale, and it just looked horrible. But once I cleaned it up and fixed it up, it turned out to be in fantastic looking shape. So I've been very happy with this. Now, this radio has not been played for 2 years since the last time I had it in my shop here. And there's one last thing I need to do with it, and that's deal with the speaker. This has a very special speaker in it, and that's what we're going to be spending our time today. Another speaker designed with a technique to boost the bass. I posted a video yesterday, a rather long video of me looking at 3 pairs of stereo speakers, and I learned enough in doing that I think I can now test this one properly, because my previous attempt at discovering the effect of the special speaker arrangement in here just didn't work, and I think I can make it work this time. So what we're really going to be looking for is playing this radio, playing a signal into it. It has a phono input on it, and then varying the frequency of that signal and watching the response to see just how low this guy really goes when this special system is in place, or when the special system is not in place. And what is the special system? We're so excited about it. I have this sticker on the back this radio. We're going to take a closer look at this. So you have the speaker here. You have a structure, a cardboard structure here. The cardboard structure is all about what's happening at the back of the speaker, right? The front is projecting out the front of the radio. The back normally projects sound just into the box, the radio box. But in this case, as I'll show you, it's captured very carefully by a rather complicated cardboard structure back here. The idea of this is you want to boost the bass coming out of here. So, but you don't want to boost the rest of the sound, because if you did, then you'd get nowhere. You wouldn't be ahead in the game. So what you do is you feed the sound through these baffles. See how the sound has got to go all the way through here. Inside these baffles is insulation and sound absorbing material. And you see how it goes out of a port pointing downwards towards the floor underneath this radio. What are they hoping to do here? I believe what they're hoping to do is to absorb all the treble sounds, the higher pitches inside this box. Delay the passage of the sound wave from the back of the radio, delay it long enough as it travels through here, that when it comes out the front of the radio, it's in phase with the speaker again at some very low frequency, giving the boost effect. It doesn't even claim that on here, does it? It doesn't make any claim other than absorbs all the unwanted sounds. So from an engineering point of view, yeah, you have a bunch of unwanted sounds, the higher frequencies. You don't want to come out the port. You just want the bass to come out the port. So you drain them out. You know what? This might not be true. What I'm telling you may not be true, and I'm thinking about it now. Perhaps what they wanted to do was literally absorb all the sound coming out of the back of the speaker, rather than let it enter into the cabinet and eventually out into the room. We have a vent here. Actually, they show some of the sound going out this vent. We're going to test this guy. Yeah, I from my understanding of transmission line speakers is they do what I first explained. They try to delay the passage of the wave and have what comes out to be in phase with what's in the front of the speaker at a certain low frequency to give a boost. Even though this certainly doesn't say that. Let's find out. And this is a very important part of it. So you got to seal the back of the speaker box up. So we'll take a look in the back of the radio now and examine how they've done the speaker. Okay, let's take a look in the back of the cabinet here at the speaker. So, obviously here's the speaker. And usually you can see the back of the cone. You can't see it on this one because of these cardboard pieces. And the speaker metal backing is designed for this purpose. It's a specially designed speaker and this whole box arrangement. So this is grabbing the air that's being pushed at the back of the speaker, pushed down into the box. And according to the photograph that we saw, or the picture rather, so there's some kind of labyrinthic, is that a word? Some kind of labyrinth going on inside this cardboard box. This is a heavy box. This is not a light cardboard box. And then down here is a vent. It's here. I couldn't quite see what I did there. Down here is the vent. Over on this side, it has some screening so little animals can't get up inside your speaker. This is screwed in place now with 2 holding screws. So I don't want to remove it. There's not much to see anyway in the box. It's all sealed up everywhere, all around. So how am I going to test this if I'm not going to pull this away? How am I going to find out if this is really... Because on the bass reflex speakers that I was testing yesterday, we saw a huge bass boost, and that's what I expect to happen here. Some kind of bass boost will occur. So I'm going to set up for that. Boy, I have not operated this radio for a long time. That's a lot of screws. So there's a backing board that goes on here. Let me grab it. The one we were looking at. Is this needed? Just sits more or less like that. So I don't think this piece of wood is doing anything in particular, so we'll leave it off for now. Find out if this radio even works after sitting for 2 years. Okay, before plugging it in, I need to remind myself, how's this guy work? So, let's see. Volume control, it says volume right there. Bass, decrease, increase, 3-position switch, on-off switch with the tone control. And we have, it says stations. It has the tuning control here. This control points to one of 3 symbols here. A star, what looks like a half moon, but it's worn away from the finger wear in here. And this would be a full moon. Or sunshine maybe. So maybe this is daytime, nighttime. I don't know what it means. So bass control is the important one for what we're doing. Will this radio work? So I'm going to plug it in. Looks like the plastic has shrunk here a little bit and pulled apart. Yeah, it shrunk down. It's just shrunk. Okay, before it shrinks more, I got this plugged into my dim bulb system, just in case. Okay, let's switch it on. First time in 2 years. Okay, dim bulbs are suggesting everything's okay, so I'm going to give it the full hour treatment there. Magic eye is lighting up. Turn it up quite a ways to hear something. So for an antenna right now, I think it has nothing. I think I forgot to put an antenna on it. I touch the antenna. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. So I gotta put a little antenna, I'll put a big antenna on it. Big antenna, what I'm talking about is an outdoor antenna. There we are. Let's put leads for it there. Volume way down. What do we get now? Okay. It's a two-bander. Where's the band switch? This must be the band switch. But there's 3 positions for 2 bands. What's going on? Okay, 680. Not too bad. Very faint eye in there. Okay, the radio's working. That's all I really wanted to know was the radio works. Oh, what about the tone control? Not the greatest. It's a high cut bass, so it's some kind of a bass boosty thing here. What's that sound like? There's a bit of a difference there. I don't know if you could tell, but there was a slight difference there. Okay, very good. Now we want to feed in some test signals. So I'm going to get all that set up to work. Here we go. I'm going to turn off my regular headphones. This is the only microphone here. This is the only microphone that's on now. A little bit worried that there'd be a magnetic interference from the speakers. Some of the sound we're hearing is actually being induced magnetically, but I don't think that's the case. That's exactly the hums that are coming out of this right now. This is not the best thing. We'll have to work among this. So I'm going to disconnect the phono plug lead and just hear how much hum there is without it. I'm just going to do it over here on the bench. Still be a fair chunk of wire left in. Just a hum there now. This is going to be difficult to separate all these different hums. Assumably I've got this microphone turned up pretty high. You're able to hear my voice. I can turn it down a bit. I'll put this other microphone up so you can hear me talking. So now the sound coming in through this one's reduced quite a bit. That's okay. And now I'm going to, let me just flip the camera around here and just show you what I'm up to. This guy here. We should hear it. We should hear it. Turn the volume up. There it is. Okay, I had the volume down on the radio. Get the picture? There's a band switch. Often the band switch needs a bit of cleaning. So we can hear that quite nicely in the microphone that's down on the radio. So I'm going to put on the screen now a piece of software that's we're going to use to analyze the sound. Okay, let's hear the tone. Turn on. First I have to check to make sure this guy is there. Okay. Switch on. So now you're looking at the sound being picked up by all the microphones in my shop. So in a moment I'm going to shut off the ones that you hear my voice through. We'll just hear the one that's listening to the radio. So I'm going to change the frequency and you'll see what happens. Okay, so I'm going to shut off the microphones I'm speaking through. The only problem with that is I have to keep speaking. So I'm going to lower the frequency down, 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 down. In fact, first I'm going to raise it up. Lower it down. So the frequency we're feeding through the radio right now is 200 hertz. So I'm just going to go down in frequency here. I'm going to up the volume quite a bit. Just looking at all my volume levels here, because the one I cannot easily monitor is the actual recording level. Just bear with me here. We're good. I'm going to take the signal level, the frequency down, and we'll watch and see if that peak doesn't go higher. It's at minus 12 right now. I'm sure it'll go lower first, but let's see what happens. So that's 60 cycles now. Go lower. Well, it just seemed to die off at 50. Let's bring it up. Let's put it up around 70. So 70 is fairly easy low note to hear. I think when you get down around 50 and 40 hertz, it's not so easy for people to hear that. So I'm going to adjust the controls on the front of the set and see what happens to that bass tone. So here. That's a decrease. That's normal. That's increase. Well, it certainly does it, doesn't it? So I'm going to look at the next peak up the way a little bit, just above the 200 frequency mark. Well, that one dropped off too on this lowest setting. Okay, with it on max, how much lower can we go here? Well, that's 60 cycles. 50. 40. I mean, I could just turn the volume up and we would. Can I? Oh, listen to that. Now, the question would be, is this sound improved because of that complicated speaker arrangement at the back? And how can I interfere with that easily to see the difference? The only way to interfere with it really is to remove it. To remove it entirely and see what happens. Okay, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to remove it. It's kind of not liking that idea. Incidentally, I just took my headphones off. Just in the room here, I cannot hear this radio at all. The levels are so low. The microphone is so closely coupled, you can hear it through the mic, but I can't. So just leaving everything running here. Pretty sure it's just two screws in the back to take out. Take out the two screws and then I can pull back the cardboard cover. Can the camera come all the way around here? I think it can. There we go. There. I'm going to do is I'm going to pull this back. It'll break the seal. And what we want to do is see, is there an effect on what we see on the screen there? So just taking a close look, we're in between something here. Let me just change the volume setting to put the there. We're right on the -18 line, so about 80 cycles per second on the 18 line. Okay, I'm going to pull this away. I don't think we had to pull it very far to destroy its effect. So what happened here for me is the sound showed up in the back here. Before I couldn't hear it back here. And what happened on the screen? Well, it's gone up. It went up. It went up. It went up. Put it back. Okay, let's silence everything here. Wow, it's pretty sensitive. A little bit of looseness. Now, when I see that screw down here, back here, I really cannot see it. Darn it. Okay, so it's back on, and we're at just a hair under 18 again. What to make of that? So I've waited 2 years to make this particular test. I can't imagine the engineers who did this work did not expect it to work. I think they expected this to work. But exactly what it's supposed to do now, I'm not even sure. Absorb all the unwanted sound. So you could consider all the sound at the back of the speaker to be unwanted. And if you were to just seal it up in a box, you might stop the cone from moving, especially in the lower sounds, because the box would have air pressure resistance. So, you know, maybe this is just a way to kind of absorb all the unwanted sounds. Yeah. Since I have this all set up, why don't we do a little more general sound test on it here. So we know how low it'll go. It'll go down to 20. No, I have no sensation anything's coming out of this radio now. 20. Okay, I start hearing something around there. 3,000 now. So we're pretty good to this level. I hope I'm not overloading the audio. That frequency is about 4,000, 4,500 in that range. Well, you can see it actually right on the computer screen here. It's just over 4,000. And it's audible, reasonably audible. Maybe up to there. Wait a minute. What about the tone controls? Tone control check. Oop, sorry about that. So it's a treble cut. You can see it cut the treble right out. Turn it up, it's there. Okay. We better hear this radio one more time too. Star. Three settings, 2 bands. Something else. Pretty switches. Well, it's working. Great. There we go. Okay, so that was another crazy video about radio speakers, but I'm happy I got this guy done now because he's been waiting 2 years for me to do exactly that effort there. Okay, thanks a lot for watching, and get back to putting something up on my bench. See ya.